At Kingston Park with defence coach Scott Baldwin, looking forward to Sunday's Challenge Cup trip to Perpignan. Scotty, technically it's a dead rubber, but this is a game that really can still be useful for us in a number of ways.
Yeah, I think so. I think as a player you never go into it as a dead rubber, and I know from the outside the perception is that. But we're still hunting for that 80-minute performance and obviously get the W. And I think this week's a great opportunity for us to go to France against a team in a different competition, same competition as last week obviously, but different league. And these games are unique, like going to France and playing in front of big crowds is exciting and one we're looking forward to.
We're going on the back of a home defeat against Benetton, a game where we started really well but shipped a few points as it went on. As a coaching and playing group, what learnings have you taken from that?
I think a few was a bit of an understatement, Smithy. And come in Monday and really probably disappointed with how we conceded the points. We do so much good in a lot of games, but ultimately when you concede 17 penalties you're going to put yourself in positions where you're under pressure. But even then, when we watched the footage back and looked at our systems and our principles, we probably just didn't stick to them in those moments. And probably the challenge and my job as a defence coach is making the players more comfortable being uncomfortable in those situations, because when we're in control defensively we look really good, but it's probably that's when you're at your most vulnerable as well, because when you're in control is when you have that tendency to switch off a little bit, and that's when we make these small errors, but they have big impact in us as a team at the moment. So just probably our learning and how we regain momentum once we've lost it, because as you said, when we started well, and we've done that for the most part of the season, but the team seems to be when we fall off a cliff, we probably go into big holes.
It's fair to say tough times like these is when you see people's real character and when people get tested. What sort of a response have you had from the players this week, and how are you as coaches sort of working to turn things around?
I think we come in Monday to have an honest review from the coaches, but I thought the boys stepped up and the boys took a lot of accountability for that, which is a big positive for me in terms of the growth of the group, in terms of them seeing and knowing where we're going wrong without us having to show them. Whereas probably when I first come in, that probably wasn't the case in terms of the system defensively I brought in. But I think one thing you can't question with this group is character and attitude. That's one thing we've seen in spades. And for most part of the season we've been in good order in terms of where we are. Obviously the results haven't come, but for the most part defensively we've put teams under a lot of pressure. We probably just need to learn a bit faster in terms of that middle third. It's a big part of the game at the minute, in terms of when you lose the ball in that middle third, you lose it for on average 5 minutes. So if we're making 2 or 3 of them, we lose a big portion of the game. So it's just about how we control momentum. Like everyone talks about momentum in the game. There's running momentum, there's kicking momentum, and probably understanding that is a growth for us. But from a defensive aspect, it's about how do we stay in the moment and be the person that wants to get the ball back, not wanting someone else to get the ball back for you. And I think with that, it's more important the work you do off the ball in defence than the work you do on the ball, because when someone runs at you, you're going to make the tackle, but can you give confidence to the guy who's opposite the ball carrier by talking to him and giving him communication? So that's probably our biggest learning.
Yeah, against Perpignan this week, they'd sort of struggled towards the start of the top 14, but it looks like they've picked up in the last few weeks. What sort of test do you think we can expect over there?
I think they're obviously, as most French teams, they're a big heavy pack. So it's a good opportunity for us to test our line speed defensively. And yeah, I think what they have shown is when you turn a corner, it has a big impact. So when you get that first win, it builds a lot of confidence and belief in yourself, because you're seeing the fruits of your labour in terms of getting the results. And that's probably it's been really good with this group in terms of the energy coming in every week after the results we've had. But you just have to keep reinforcing, like showing them the good that's in the game. But we just need to have good sets rather than good moments, and I think like spoke this week about we need to be an every time team. We can't be showing one set defending the same starter play, for instance, off a line out, and then the next time we do it in the same game we're showing a different picture. So probably consistency of role would be a big one for me.
Yeah, you've played in France many times in your own career. Just in terms of atmosphere and everything around the game, for the lads who maybe haven't been there before, what sort of thing can they expect?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's almost like the football, like it's French rugby at the minute. It seems to be like the English Premier League 15 years ago. So yeah, it's a great atmosphere to play in, and one the boys are really looking forward to. Hopefully it'll be a bit warmer in Perpignan this time of year. So yeah, just looking forward to getting out there and getting stuck into it in a great stadium.
We've seen your fellow Welshman Lewis Rees-Zammit this week going to the NFL. When's your big money move in coming to the NFL, Scotty?
I don't think the NFL's for a tight fight forward, I'll be honest with you. But no, I wish him all the best.